Everybody, happy Monday to you. How you doing out there? Hope all is good with you. You feeling right? Looking good? Cooling off a little bit? We got a hurricane coming here, so that could potentially affect us throughout the week. Just as a heads up, may not be able to do the show. I don't know. Get our 5 o'clock update here in just a little bit. See if that sucker has skewed towards us or not. But we are planning on possibly closing early tomorrow, and I think Tuesday night, Wednesday is going to be a little bit messy for us. So we better bring the goods for you here today. While other advisors are playing checkers, we are playing chess. Actually, I had a good one here today. We're preparing people's dough for wealth purchases next year. So someone had told me, one of our clients, I want to build my wealth. I need some things to do. I said, well, we got to get your dough straight this year. We'll start conquering that next year. And so starting to lay out a plan there. I thought that was pretty cool, you know, just a way to, do a little bit extra, figure out how to make this work here. What do we got? Oh, well, hey, take a look. Let's see where we're at here. Ooh, that's what we've got so far. Cody, you got the update for us on Tropical Storm Idalia?
The 5 p.m. update should be coming out shortly.
Oh.
I am waiting on pins and needles over here, refreshing my tabs, waiting for it. So, I will interrupt the show and bring it to a screeching halt as soon as we get an update.
I love it. And unfortunately, we are there where the 3 is just a little bit. We're hoping it shifts a little bit to the north so we don't have some problems. But you guys don't care so much about that. We'll be just fine. Let's take a look. Who was our guest, the Dow winner?
Why do you say it like that? Big fan of Homer. Wow, nobody gets a reaction like that. Yeah,
Oh.
Homer S was your winner from last week, and I believe that is the Homer S.
There's only one Homer, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Homer S is the winner, and he will be crediting his account.
Oh, you don't want the gift card?
No, he's doing the account credit.
Homer, if you change your mind, I got to come see you, right? We got this hurricane thing, but then I'm coming to see you. I'm thinking if you want the gift card, I bring it to you. I got to go visit Homer. I'm actually going to his house. We're going to hang out. So congratulations, Homer. That is super cool.
Yeah.
And it's not Homer Simpson, even cooler than Homer Simpson. Homer S is one interesting dude there. Can't wait to come see you, man. So that'll hopefully be next week or the week after. I'll be actually traveling out there just to see Mr. Homer. I love it. If you want to play, jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow, you could play. Doesn't mean I'll come visit you, but if you're as cool as Homer, maybe I'll come out and check you out. I owe him a trip, so we'll be out there to see that. And also jazzwealth.com/2023. If you want some numbers, like a quick 2-page document, Haley will send it to you it basically has all the tax brackets and your contribution limits, any of the important numbers that you need to know for this year. You can check it out, as well as a special congratulations to Haley today. So Haley passed her financial advisor license test, Series 65, this afternoon. So she is the latest and greatest to be joining us here at Jazz as an advisor. You can give some advice and stuff. So congrats to her. All right, let's talk about the stock market here. Last week, and actually in our notes from Jazz for clients and research members, I showed you exactly how this worked. The Jerome Powell speech on Friday, complete non-event in terms of will he or will he not raise interest rates. His key words, hey, we're going to proceed carefully. That means we're not going to raise rates in September. You can pretty much bet on that one there. And if you look at the betting odds, I actually showed them right when his speech, or before his speech, during his speech, and right after he finished. I showed the betting odds there, the actual FOMC Fed funds rate probabilities. Nothing. Nothing really changed there. It's since changed a little bit, but other than that, it was a non-event there. He had specifically said he cannot identify with certainty the neutral rate for interest rates. Remember we talked last week about what the neutral rate was in our podcast, actually. And every economist will agree, you cannot predict in real time what the neutral rate should be. It is always a backwards looking thing. It's very dangerous if you get it wrong, but it's always backward looking. So he's not lying there, and I think is highly accurate. Let's take a look at the stock market. Here's the S&P today, chopping back and forth. Volatility, once again, staying a little bit elevated. You guys know the drill. Where we are at, I shared that in our notes from Jazz as well. We are now here. So the rolling volatility chart in the background, along with the moving average, shows volatility is naturally to creep higher at this point, at this point, and in fact, it really is. The stock market right now is as average of a stock market as you can be. I mean, almost on a day-to-day type level, it's as average as you can be. If you're one of our clients, look at the notes from Jazz email this weekend. I actually showed how it is perfectly staying average. And if it gets a little too far, it comes right back to the average. If it goes a little too far below, it comes right back to the average. The market this year so far has done nothing impressive when compared to the long-term average. What does that mean? It means that we can look at average performance and then sort of rely on that a little bit more. There's nothing special happening in the market right now in terms of its performance, which means any performance we can find historically, that's how the market's performing. So if we take a look at a few things here, I've shared this with you before. In August, the intra-month performance, meaning how August performs, when the market is already up 10% year to date, that's your light blue line here, it is almost perfect. August, how it's performed here. As we get into the last part of the month, is there any sort of average rocket ship rally to fuel the end of the month? Nope, no case, right? Especially being already up 10% year to date. There's just nothing there, so we can assume more average performance. I went back further. I looked at from our sell in May and go away till Labor Day sort of stats that we put out there. The average rolling monthly return for the S&P. Well, let's make our way to August here. Anything magical happening in August? No. The market is following its average performance and essentially not much happening. A little pullback, a little rally, and a little pullback. That's basically what you have there. The average performance when the debt gets downgraded. Now, granted, this is only one scenario, but look, does anything happen after that? We're in here. This is where we're at right now. Slight pullback, not much to go on for the month of August. So all the data that I've been sharing with you each and every day as I try to teach you a little bit, okay, we can rely on it. And it's like doing exactly what we would expect to happen. If you look at the number of stocks that were overbought, we shared this with you. This actually ticked higher to 65.2% of all stocks in the S&P considered overbought, 4.2 oversold. We said, look what happens when this many stocks gets overbought. What happens? It pulls back, an 8% pullback, a 3% pullback, a 19% pullback. What do we have now? About a 5% pullback. So all of this laying in line perfectly when you look at the stock market now, if you're expecting something extra to happen, no, it's probably not going to happen. The odds are clearly in your favor that something magical is not going to happen. So if you know that, I'm not trying to discourage you or anything. I'm just saying if you know that, then you know not to freak out about something. We'll get into September. We'll have the jobs numbers or the unemployment numbers come out on Friday. A little bit more excitement. September wakes up and gets things going again. We'll see how that goes. If you look at the NASDAQ today, anything tech-related managed to get the job going. Any update? It bumped a little west?
Just a little bit west, got a little bit stronger. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little bit. We are now just outside of the cone of uncertainty.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So looking good over here for us there. I like it. I like it. Let's see how that goes. There's maybe a reason not to, panic and run to the store and do all what do the people buy? The toilet papers and stuff?
Toilet paper and water.
The water. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, that's cool. Nice update there. If we look at the NASDAQ, which you can see on the screen there, all tech related, right? All the big tech stocks helped you out here. Almost all of them helped you out today, so not a big deal there. The Dow pulling back right back down to what we would call minor support and getting a little bit of love off of that one there. Like take a look at the short-term bonds. The 2-year actually hit a new high, but anything in the 10-year and beyond actually gave us a little bit of a relief rally there, which means rates came down just a little bit. We're happy to see that, of course. If you look at oil, not much to report there, and gold, not much to report there as well. Remember, volatility is expected to continue to wiggle its way higher. Not like a rocket ship, but wiggle its way higher there. Think about this. The economy will and is slowing down. You see it. You know what's going on out there. It takes 42 weeks of someone's savings to pay off a brand new car. That number was 33%, or 33 weeks before COVID. Okay, that requires a little bit more of our dollars there. Used car prices up 30%. Credit card balances 1.2 trillion. Okay, if the economy is so strong, why are we using our credit cards more at 30% interest, by the way? That's crazy. Credit card delinquencies are starting to tick up, meaning we put money on credit cards and we go, that's a lot of interest. can't pay all of that, right? We're starting to see that. Student loans are starting up again. That's all of this sucking more and more out of our disposable income that will slow the economy. Existing home sales are dead. It costs a lot more to borrow these days. We just shared with you last week that borrowing is slowing. The regional banks all admitted that one there. The Fed does a biweekly study to actually, or biweekly survey to prove that. You have colleges closing down because people don't want to invest in their future there. And Dollar Tree last week was the latest to say people are shifting their spending from random garbage, whatever you buy at Dollar Tree, to food at Dollar Tree and necessities at Dollar Tree. Well, that should be going well. We would go to Dollar Tree, we would spend more. It's supposedly a bargain, right? If we're already cutting back our spending there, keep in mind that the economy is and will be slowing. Best Buy in the news here today from Barron's. If you read the Barron's article over the weekend there, they said if you look at Best Buy, it is a buy before earnings comes out here. Their earnings will be coming out tomorrow in the morning, and Barron says, yeah, you got to own it. You got to own it there. Hawaiian Electric, for all you conspiracy theorists out there, Hawaiian Electric says our power lines were not on the day of the fires. We looked into it. Turns out they weren't on. So now all the people that believe in the laser from space that started the fire have fuel for their fire. See, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad one. 3M. The stock was actually higher today. Why? We talk about this numerous times in the past. Stocks go higher when there is a settlement, even if it is $5.5 billion that 3M has to pay because of the combat earplugs that they had. We talked about this when it happened. They made them and they were faulty, so they were still causing a loss of hearing there. And 3M said, yeah, that was our bad. How much do we owe you? $5.5 billion there. Stocks go higher when that happens because we know the number. We can take that number and put it into charges inside of their earnings and figure out how that's going to affect the stock. When we put in $5.5 billion, we go, hey, the stock is undervalued at this point. Stock goes higher there. So that stock was in the news today. And I believe there was a fire somewhere. I want to say Marathon Petroleum, but that doesn't seem right. That is right, actually. Marathon Petroleum had a small fire, and so some of their production was shut down. Didn't seem to affect the stock here today. That is it. Our Jazz After Dark here tonight, we are going to talk about how we're going to give an exact scenario. How do you invest for retirement and pay off debt? How do we borrow from what we were going to put towards retirement and pay off our debt without ruining one or the other? We want to save money by paying off our debt sooner, and we want to still be able to retire one day and not have debt get in our way. So we're going to go over that example specifically tonight instead of just saying you can't invest and pay off debt. That may be true for some of you, but we're going to go over an example and show you how you can at least see if that's possible for you, what decision you should be making there. So I hope you'll join me tonight for Jazz After Dark. Stocks reporting earnings tomorrow are going to be, Best Buy, we talked about that, and really just Big Lots, Smuckers, Hewlett-Packard, PVH, so retailers for the most part in there, wrapping up the earnings season. I will take your questions if you happen to have any questions. Otherwise, I will continue with our sandbagging. Doug got us some sandbags out here for the door. So Jazz is going to be just fine. Don't you worry about us. But it does create a little bit of a chaos here in the area when you're getting ready for a hurricane. So if you don't see me tomorrow and or Wednesday, probably okay. You know, it's probably fine. But that's what's going on. Do you believe Hawaiian Electric? If they're not telling the truth, that's a hard lie to tell. You know what I mean? That means that they have proof somehow. They're willing to be tested on that proof. I don't think I would lie in that case. You know what I mean? That's a pretty bold statement to make there. So I guess I lean more towards, sure, I believe you, but I don't know. I don't get to make that decision. Yeah. Where's October monthly expiration after your days? October monthly expiration, like the monthly expiration is 50-something days from now. 53 days from now, I think is what you're saying. So it would be 60, nope, it'd be 70, 73 days, 75 days, it'd be right in here, if that's what you're talking about. I guess it'd have to be right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Henry. Everything will be fine here, I'm sure. Yeah. Thank you, Kirk. Tim, man, how you doing? All is good here. What you saying? I need to shave or something? PAG's earnings last week was good and had growth. Thanks for sharing, Michael. You like Altria for a long-term investment. So I'm assuming you're thinking dividend here. I'm not a fan of, like, if you're thinking growth or somehow it's going to be worth $60, I don't like that. And actually, take a look here. We'll zoom out. Look at the performance. This is a weekly chart. So we're going back to 2020. So just hypothetically, you bought right in here somewhere. You're just now profitable. You had your moments, but it never really went anywhere. So I don't like this one if you're thinking somehow it's going to start a big uptrend and it's going to be, a miraculous rally. So usually we're looking at that for yield, and think of it like a parachute on a portfolio. You add that in there, you're not going to have a lot of volatility, you have a little yield to pay you along the way. So that's how I would look at that one. Kirk just missed the fires, man. I'm good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Fast Daddy says, don't believe any of us, man. Don't believe any of us. We're all in on it together, man. I think I'm essentially a nobody. There ain't no conspiracy people calling me. But don't you kind of want to just know if one of them's right? I saw a comedian say that, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you think none of the conspiracies are right? I don't follow up on all of them, but I'm not saying the weird ones, but surely one of those has to be right, don't you think? Opinion on AMD. Shipping their AI chip. They're trying to play catch up. They will. There won't be any problems there eventually, but Intel could be a problem. AI chip Q4 thinking of selling puts, start a position. Well, number one, I would look at this as here you have relative weakness in a very hot area of the market. We're all waiting for them to play catch up. So, you know what I mean? It's like getting ahead of that, I think would be awesome to buy on a pullback instead of having it gap up $60 one day and now it's NVIDIA and you have to pay up for it. So I really like that it's pulling back. I would look at this as kind of like the week before last. I want to find me a really weak week in the stock market and have AMD just pull back with it, right? Just give me all that weakness together where people seem to be giving up. Then I would look at your put option there. Yeah. Interestingly, we are working on this. This has a slight delay because of the hurricane, but those of you that are research members, the, what do we call it? Office trades? Office trades is making a comeback. We're building our room out to be able to accommodate that. And so if you want to actually see, just for fun, right, some other trading happening there with real money where you'll be able to see the money go up and down. We will not be hiding balances and all that stuff. You'll just get to see the positions that we put on for better or for worse. And as we take them off, of course, you can play along with us. If you're a research member, this is not part of our normal everyday business, so we will not be spending tons and tons of hours making videos on this. But during the day, as we put on a trade here or there, we'll be sharing it with you in both myself and Eric's accounts so you can see and play along if you'd like to learn a little bit about how you could either really screw something up or do really well. So we're hoping to do well, but we'll see what happens there. Would you enter Enphase, or are they losing the moat? They never had like an official moat, like market access or something. Like you want a moat stock, those guys, and it's almost impossible to compete against them. So I wouldn't go that route. I'm pretty picky when I say things like that, so I wouldn't go that route there. I do like Enphase as far as, hey, it's on a watch list, and I'd love to be a buyer at a discount, but I don't think this is, I mean, I can't tell you, but I don't think this is the time to believe that somehow it goes magically higher. But it's one that I'm, I look at every day anyways. Solar Edge as well. I look at that one, I go, okay, I think you're close, but does it need to be today? Obviously not. Yeah. Bohan loved the office trades. I love that you loved it. Okay. Well, there's no rain here at the moment, but that is about to change. So we are going to get on out of here and do what we need to do. Batten down the hatches, as they say, and probably won't see you tomorrow. if for whatever reason this thing goes the other way, of course, we'll be here and ready to go. If not, we'll see you in a couple days. And you guys enjoy your time away from me. Come up with a joke or something. You know what I mean? Leave some comments on our videos and tell me some jokes. I love good jokes. All right. Enjoy.